Anyway, seeing as everyone's gone, I'm going to do bad movie review of the week.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
This week, I watched The Gorge. It's on Apple Plus. I watched it because, see you, Andrew. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I watched it because it's on Apple Plus, and we've got Apple Plus at the moment because I'm watching Severance, and I pay $8.99 a month for that, and I think that's too much. So I watched The Gorge, and it starred that guy from Whiplash. You know, the guy's got a bit of a funny face, but he's kind of growing into it now. Now he's got a bit older. It looks like his face belongs to him. And Anya Taylor-Joy, who's got a bit of a funny face, but I don't know, I like her because she was in The Witch. She was the girl in The Witch.
Yeah.
You've seen that one. And she plays the sexy Russian sniper, but she's got a bit of a funny face. Her eyes are just a little bit too far apart. And you keep going, her eyes are just a little bit too far apart. How can she be a sniper if her eyes are just a little bit too far apart? How does that work, you know? And they've got to guard this thing, the Gorge, a gorge, right? So he's American and he's a top sniper, and she's a sexy Russian sniper, and she's at the top of the gorge too. And on two opposing outposts, looking after the gorge, and they mustn't let whatever's in the gorge come out. And this gorge is big. It's a big gorge, a very big gorge. And I thought, this is stupid. The gorge is too big. There's not enough people to defend the gorge. Whatever's in the gorge is going to get out of the gorge if there isn't enough people. But there's some turrets that fire, and it's like, but they fall in love across a gorge. Yeah, they fall in love across a gorge because
a massive gorge.
They're told they're not allowed to communicate with each other under penalty of whatever. You know, you mustn't talk to your opposing member, even though she's a sexy Russian spy.
Why not? They have the same goal of killing whatever's in the gorge.
That doesn't make any sense, right? Don't worry, at the end of this review, I'm going to tell you how they could have made a better film. So anyway, they fall in love. He goes over. They have dinner, and then he falls into the gorge. And she has to go and rescue him.
Of course.
And there's all sorts of things in the gorge. And I won't spoil it, but they get out the gorge and that's it. And I sat there and thought, one, it took 35 minutes for anything interesting to actually happen. 35 minutes of them kind of falling in love across a gorge.
Pretty drawn out then.
It's boring. Boring. It's 2 hours, 7 minutes long film. You could easily get it down to 90 minutes, right? Good old 90-minute film.
We don't do those anymore.
We don't do that. Now, this gorge was created by the Russians, the Americans, and the British, right?
Why was it created?
No, it wasn't. The gorge is actually, spoiler, happens because there's a fault, a tectonic fault, and it was like a base.
Okay.
And they were doing weird experiments, and the gorge it falls in and creates the gorge, right?
Okay.
To me, that doesn't sound geographically no,
possible.
I thought that sounded...
I don't think that's how gorges form.
No, it kind of like fell in on itself, and I thought...
Isn't that a sinkhole or something?
Yeah, it'd be called the sinkhole. I think it would have been better if it was called the hole, and there was just two of them looking at a hole, and they could talk to each other and go, "What do you think of this hole? It looks pretty deep. Wouldn't want to fall down it." Ah, he fell down the hole.
Haha, I dare you, push.
Fell down the hole. So anyway, at the end of it, they meet and they fall in love, and it's the end. And you go, "Oh, okay." And I was sitting there thinking, if this was the 80s or the 90s, it would have been so much better because you'd have had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, playing the Russian. "I'll be back," he'll be saying as he falls into the hole or the gorge. And you'd have a British actor in it. I don't know, pick your favourite British actor, Richard E. Grant or someone like that. And you'd have an American, Sylvester Stallone. And you'd have three teams, right? And one of them would fall in. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger, because like you wouldn't think he was going to be the one who falls in. They've got to rescue Arnie, right? And so he falls into the gorge, and they've got many teams. And then in the gorge, the teams get picked off by whatever's in the gorge until it's just Arnie and one of the female soldiers, and they fall in love in the gorge.
So gradually, like
it takes a bit of time. Takes a bit of time. He's grateful to her. You're very tough. I like you. You can lift me. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
She runs out with him over her shoulder, right?
So comedic.
And then there's a big mushroom cloud at the end, which kind of what happens in this film. And it would have been so much better, and it would have been 90 minutes. you know, and we wouldn't have had 35 minutes of them staring at each other across a gorge.
Oh, he looks nice.
Oh.
Gorgy dreams.
And yeah, I didn't enjoy it, but it was better than Nosferatu because I do think there was a good film in there. I like the idea of the gorge. And there was a vertical chase scene up the side of a mountain.
That's actually pretty
which
sick.
was really good, and I thought that was really interesting. And but yeah, too long, half an hour too long. I think they could have got into it a bit sooner. You know, they didn't have to fall in love at the top of the gorge. They could have just, I don't know. No, they did. It was just, you know, it was silly.
Yeah.
You know, the bond should have been in the gorge when they're fighting. You know. And he could have said to her, or she could have said to him, if we get out of here alive, we should meet and have a meal, you know?
Yeah,
and that's where the romantic...
And so you want them to get out of the gorge.
Yeah, so you want them to, you know, kind of do it. It should have been structured differently. But yeah, that's on Apple TV+.
But do you know what else we should watch on Apple TV+?
What's that?
What
else is on there?
No. I hate this when this happens. I have a brain fart.
Brain fart?
No.
What's on Apple TV+?
The reboot.
The reboot? Time Bandits.
Yeah.
What, the one that got cancelled?
Yeah,
We're not watching
Bandits.
it. We're not watching it.
I want to watch the bad Time Bandits.
Well, we can watch it. We can do that.
Can we do a reaction video?
No, I'm not doing reaction videos because it's awful.
Oh my gosh.
What?